Hello there, my fellow exploring gamers. It's time to dredge up Dredge again with the Iron Rig DLC. Now, if you saw my collector's edition unboxing, you know that this will probably be the final Dredge content I do, because this is probably the end. And did Team 17 and Black Soul Games go out with a bang? Well, no. Not exactly. Because the best way to describe this is more of the same, but a little more. Because the Iron Rig actually has a few extra layers of complexity, unlike the Pale Reach. It has, I'll say this up front, no spoilers, this is just the opening introduction to the Iron Rig DLC, which, for the record, unlike Pale Reach, is definitely more of a later game DLC. You can go right to it from the beginning, but I found that I needed to have a few bits of extra equipment unlocked that could be used, because this DLC is about expanding on the capabilities of your equipment. So if you are just starting out and don't have everything unlocked and or upgraded, then oops, you're gonna miss out on a few things. So that's the first kind of interesting aspect out of this. But I think this is probably, like I said, it was more of the same but a little more, and in all honesty, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, I was surprised by the ending, when in reality I shouldn't have been surprised, but it's like, oh yeah, this sticks with the whole Lovecraftian theme. Nothing crazy. Later on, you'll see that there's a touch of a little bit of a, environmental, eco-friendly stuff. We are dealing with an oil rig drilling, and oops, we've uncovered something. And then you have to go around cleaning it up. It's not oil, it's just black ooze. Okay? Let's get that set straight. So, and that was the other thing. Having to do some of the tasks from the different characters on the Iron Rig kind of was slowed down, because, like, oh, I sort of have to do the story missions as well to get to where I need to go. So again, this is a later stage DLC. So I would strongly recommend, if you're just starting out, you probably should just wait on this. You don't necessarily need to beat the game, but if you've been to all 4 regions, you've gotten the 4 items, but you haven't handed them in or done whatever you want to do, just like then go to the Iron Rig. Or if maybe you've gotten the good ending, then go to the Iron Rig. I don't know, I haven't gotten the worst reviewer ever. I haven't actually gotten the good ending yet. So I don't know how that goes. Sorry. Not sorry. But I did enjoy this DLC. It would probably been a lot faster if I'd actually known I should have done a lot more of the base game before going to it. But you have all new prehistoric fish, new aberrations to catch and or, catch in your crab pots. You actually have an expansion on the capabilities of the crab pots. Again, they expand on the capabilities of a lot of your equipment so it can do more. Now there's more of an emphasis on actually finding ways to acquire refuse parts, which is kind of weird, because once you do get more equipment that you can upgrade and you will need parts stuff, but it's like, yeah, it gets, once you have the money and once have a lot of things already upgraded, it's like, yeah, you're never really wanting for any sorts of like wood or cloth. It was even in the base game, kind of like at some point it could be difficult to find, but then again, if you have the money, you can sort of buy it if you know which trader to go to. So this is like, it just made something that was only a minor inconvenience even easier of a task. So yeah, this still kept this an absolutely casual game. It's not like, oh, you need to be a master of Dredge and know all the ins. It's like, no, you kind of just have to be a little. Do this when you're like over halfway through, if not gotten most of the base game done. And it's just another little side quest, another small story that does impact the whole of the area, but is still not too out of the norm what you do. It's, like I said, just a little bit more. And because of that, and the fact that I don't even know if I should say like this is going to be on everything. I made the joke of like this is even going to be on your smart refrigerator, but yeah, this has come to Android OS and iOS. So I don't think there needs to be anything else done to the game because it's now everywhere, and it's gonna, if anything more, it's just gonna make it too complicated. So with this as a basis, it like makes me wonder what Team 17, Team Black Salt, what they're gonna do next. I was kind of wondering if this could be a good little launching pad for a more, dare I say, online Dredge-like game. I know that's I kind of harp on online gaming, but there was this whole, I wish I could explore and build more. I can acquire all these parts, but then at some point you kind of go, well, I don't need all these parts, but I still have all these parts. So I'm wondering if there could be a more of like a PvE type setup where we try to build and expand and be friends, and then maybe there's certain little mini events or natural disasters or something that we would come along to. But that's what this game could also be allowed to impact. I don't know. All I have to say was this was still fun. It wouldn't have dragged so much if I'd realized it was supposed to be done later. You get to build new and kind of interesting things, although you don't necessarily need to explore a lot more. You do, technically you would have been revisiting certain areas, although I was like, well, shucks. Well, I guess I gotta finish this, and then I have to go, and then come back, and then finally visit, because, oh, jeez. Well, and occasionally there was like, oh, I'll just multitask now. So, but yeah, I found the Iron Rig to be enjoyable, but it was definitely like, I don't think there's too much more they can do with this formula. Because what's the next, unless the next DLC had more like actual timed events and you had to do things at a certain time, it's like, no, this is still very casual. You don't have to rush. You can do it at your leisure. And on all honesty, I'm like, this should theoretically do really well on the more mobile gaming platforms. And it's such a cheerful little game, although not, well, if you're into horror and Lovecraft, yeah, it's cheerful. If you're not, then it's kind of like, it's not cheerful, but it's fun. So, but only if you're going in as a casual player. If you're looking for something more hardcore, maybe Dave the Diver is more your speed. I only bring that up because they actually have Dredge DLC for that, which brings some of the aberrations in. So that's a game I've only just started playing. Yes, that's a little more complex. I was a little taken aback at first. They're like, oh, we need things and need to learn things about this. So, but Dredge, the Iron Rig, get it if you haven't already gotten it. Get on sale. Enjoy it when it comes out. Probably part of anything on iOS or Android. But I look forward to seeing what else comes from these teams. And that's all I can say. And make sure you got fresh batteries in your light, because you never know what's in the dark or in the depths.